Hi, this is Nate Martinez. I've been selling real estate for over 32 years. Our team of highly trained professionals, along with our marketing plan, have helped us sell over 6,000 homes across the Valley of the Sun. And this is how we do it.
So, 3 to 5 years ago, we started talking about the phase out of Freon as part of the whole HVAC industry. And I know we've kind of gone through that. So what should we know as consumers about our current air conditioning units? What should we be budgeting for? I mean, if something goes out, do we need a whole new system or?
Great question. It's important to know that the legislation around the Freon phase out, first, the purpose of that has to do, there was two pieces of legislation. One has to do with efficiency. So you probably hear talk about SEER rating, S-E-E-R, which stands for Seasonal Energy Efficiency Ratio. That legislation helps us get more efficient in the energy we use. And then the second part has to do with the type of refrigerant that's in our equipment. And that the benefit of that is environmental. It's important to know that the legislation has nothing to do with manufacture. It has to only to do with manufacturer parts. So if you have a Freon air conditioner on your home for now, parts are available, and even at some price point, Freon or R22 is available. So generally, for the life of that, for that unit, you can get what you need. The challenge is that Freon that substance is what's being phased out. And so as a result of scarcity, the price is getting really high. And the bummer is for customers that have a small repair, but it requires refilling the unit with Freon. So it's almost a scenario like you have a flat tire on the car, but it's cheaper to replace the whole car. Because even though your problem is only small, the price of putting Freon back in is really expensive. Mm-hmm. So from a real estate perspective, or from the perspective of a potential home buyer, if there's a home that already has a Puron air conditioning system, as I'm evaluating, a few homes and trying to make decisions, I probably would put a little gold star on a house that already has a Puron system. If there is a Freon system, should be built into the budget, a home warranty that would help cover the conversion when it dies, or into your personal family budget. Just know that if you don't have a Puron system today, you're going to get to buy one at some point in the future.
So is there, again, normal consumers out there, is this something that we should be asking the home inspector to determine what our system is when we're out shopping? Or you just, the seller disclosure statement that they replaced, I see that they replaced the system with a, 2019, they replaced the system. I'm not too sure what system they have because they don't tell me it's a Puron or a Freon. What should we be doing to protect our clients or ourselves?
Sure. 10 years ago, nobody would have ever thought that it's a material fact what type of gas is in your refrigerant, in your air conditioning system. But given the prices of Freon, now it probably is. And I don't know if most home inspectors label the type of gas that's on there, but the easy way to find out is on the condensing unit. So that's typically on a split system that's maybe on the side of the house, or if it's a package unit, it might be in the attic. But somewhere on the condensing unit, there's a label that will tell HVAC technicians which type of refrigerant the unit has. Those are typically labeled pretty quickly. So that's the practical way to find out what you have. And there are a few really common HVAC repairs. For example, one is switching a reversing valve. Those break frequently. That's only a couple $100 repair, but it necessitates filling the unit back up with refrigerant. And we're seeing Freon costs from some retailers around $150 a pound, $100 a pound. So you might have a $200 mechanical repair, but be close to $2,000 to fill the unit back up with refrigerant. And, you know, when you and I were first becoming friends, and that was completely a non-material cost, and we'd pay $8 or $10 a pound for Freon, and you wouldn't think twice about the impact of that cost.
Amazing. So at some point, we're dealing with the supply and demand, right? So at some point, will the demand, or excuse me, will the supply be gone?
Yeah, so 2020 is the last year that refrigerant can be manufactured or allowed into the US. Phase out facts, PHASE, phase out facts is probably the website to get not a sales pitch, but to get straightforward information about the regulation. And
Say that one more time.
it's, I haven't been to the site for a long time, but it's phase, PHASE, out, OUT, facts, FACTS. I don't remember if that's I might be .org.
Okay.
Anyway, phase out facts. That's kind of just the history of that legislation. And I remember on the front page, there was a graph that shows here's how much Freon is available to the US and then phased out over time. Long term, the net result of this legislation will lead us to better for the environment and more efficient air conditioning units. But the impact on homeowners is pretty significant.